Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. My name is Nur Adriana Carmila Binti Isri from class Mat 3 PBSMP. Today, I will present my assignment for the course MTS 1142 Computational Thinking in Mathematics. In this presentation, I will explain how computational thinking can be used as a heuristic strategy to solve a non-routine mathematical problem. To begin with, it is important for us to understand what non-routine mathematical problem actually mean. In mathematics, problem solving is a very important skill because it allows students to apply mathematical ideas to different situations. Most of the time, students are familiar with routine problems. These are problems that can be solved using formulas or procedure that students have already memorized. For example, if students are asked to find the area of rectangle, they simply apply the formula length multiplied by width. However, some problems cannot be solved using memorized formulas. Instead, students must analyze the situation carefully, explore different possibilities, and apply logical reasoning. These are what we call a non-routine mathematical problem. And they are important because they help students develop deeper mathematical thinking. When we talk about non-routine problem, there are several characteristics that we can observe. First, this problem requires reasoning. Students cannot immediately apply a memorized formula. Instead, they need to think carefully about the situation and determine what strategy might work. Second, non-routine problem involve exploration. Students may need to test different ideas before they discover the correct solution. Third, this problem involve higher order thinking skills such as analyzing information, evaluating single strategies, and making logical decisions. Another important characteristic is that non-routine problems often allow multiple strategies. Different students might approach the problem in different ways, but they can still arrive at the correct solution. This makes non-routine problem very effective in developing critical thinking. To understand this concept more clearly, we can compare routine problem and non-routine problem. Routine problem usually involve familiar formulas and predictable procedure. Students already know what step to follow and the solution method is usually straightforward. Because of this, routine problems mainly involve lower order thinking skill. In contrast, non-routine problems do not provide a direct formula. Students must analyze the situation carefully and explore different strategies. This problem requires high order thinking, creativity, and logical reasoning. As a result, non-routine problems encourage deeper understanding and more flexible mathematical thinking. Now, let us look at the problem that I selected for this test. The situation describes a school performance where 36 students need to be arranged in rectangular formation. In a rectangular formation, the students are organized in row and column that form a rectangle. One important condition is that each row must contain the same number of students. This ensures that the formation is balanced and properly organized. So, the question that we need to answer is, how many different rectangular arrangements can be formed using all 36 students? Although this question seems simple at first, solving it actually requires logical reasoning and systematic thinking. At this point, we might ask, why this problem is considered a non-routine problem? The first reason is that there is no direct formula that immediately tells us the number of arrangements. Students cannot simply substitute number into a formula. Instead, they must explore different possibilities. Another reason is that the problem requires logical reasoning. Students must analyze the relationship between row and column and determine which combination are valid. In addition, there are multiple strategies that can be used to solve the problem. For example, students may use factor pairs, draw a rectangular array, or analyze multiplication patterns. Because of this characteristic, this problem clearly represents a non-routine mathematical problem. In order to solve this problem in a systematic way, we apply an approach known as computational thinking. Computational thinking provided a structured framework that helps us analyze complex problems. There are several important components involved. The first component is decomposition, which means breaking up complex problems into smaller and more manageable parts. The second component is pattern recognition, where we identify patterns or relationships in the data. The third component is abstraction, which focuses on the essential information needed to solve the problem. Another component is algorithmic thinking, which involves designing a step-by-step procedure. In addition, logical reasoning helps justify the solution, while evaluation ensures that the final answer is correct and complete. Together, these components guide the entire problem-solving process. Using this computational thinking component, we can apply a heuristic strategy to solve the problem. A heuristic strategy provides a structured approach when solving unfamiliar or complex problems. First, we need to clearly understand the problem and identify the important information. Next, we break the problem into smaller parts using decomposition. After that, we identify patterns and relationships that may help us determine possible solutions. Finally, we apply logical reasoning to test and verify the solution. This step-by-step process helps us approach the problem in a systematic and organized way. Let us now apply the first computational thinking component, which is decomposition. Decomposition means breaking the problem into smaller components so that it becomes easier to analyze. First, we identify the total number of students, which is 36. Next, we consider the possible way to arrange these students in row and column. Finally, we examine combination where row multiplied by column equal to 36. By dividing the problem into this smaller part, the problem becomes easier to understand and solve. After decomposing the problem, the next step is pattern recognition. Pattern recognition involves identifying mathematical pattern or relationship. In this case, we look for factor pairs of the number 36. The factor pairs of 36 are 1 multiply 36, 2 multiply 18, 3 multiply 12, 4 multiply 9, 6 multiply 6. Each of these pairs represents a possible rectangular arrangement. For example, 3 multiplied 12 means there are 3 rows with 12 students in each row. By identifying this pattern, we can systematically determine all possible rectangular formations. Once we have identified the possible pattern, the next step is to apply abstraction. Abstraction means focusing only on the most relevant information needed to solve the problem, while ignoring details that are not important. In this situation, the most important information include the total number of students, which is 36, and the requirement that the arrangement must form a rectangular structure. Another important condition is that Each row must contain the same number of students. These three pieces of information are essential because they determine the mathematical structure of the arrangement. At the same time, there are also many details that are not relevant to solving the problem. For example, the name of the student, their appearance, or the location of the performance do not affect the mathematical arrangement. By ignoring unnecessary detail and focusing only the relevant information, abstraction helps simplify the problem and allow us to concentrate on the mathematical relationship involved. After identifying the important information, we can now apply algorithmic thinking. Algorithmic thinking involves designing a clear and systematic sequence of steps to solve the problem. Instead of trying random possibilities, we follow an organized process. The first step is to identify the total number of students, which is 36. The second step is to determine all factors pairs of 36. Because of these pairs represent possible combination of row and column. The third step is to represent each factor pairs as row multiplied by column. For example, one row with 36 students, two rows with 18 students each, or three rows with 12 students each. The final step is to construct and analyze this arrangement to determine which one form valid rectangular formation. By following this step-by-step process, algorithmic thinking ensures that the problem-solving process is organized, logical, and systematic. Once the possible arrangement have been identified, the next step is to apply logical reasoning and evaluation. Logical reasoning helps us analyze whether each factor pairs represent a valid rectangular formation. The factor pairs of 36 are 1 multiply 36, 2 multiply 18, 3 multiply 12, 4 multiply 9, 6 multiply 6. Each pair represents row and column that multiply together to produce the total number of students. However, we must also apply evaluation to confirm that these arrangements are complete and accurate. Evaluation involves checking whether all possible combinations have been identified and ensuring that no arrangement has been counted more than once. Through this reasoning process, we confirm that these 5 factor pairs represent all possible rectangular formations that can be created using 36 students. Based on the factor pairs that we have identified and verified, we can now determine the final solution. The possible rectangular arrangement of 36 students are 1 multiply 36, 2 multiply 18, 3 multiply 12, 4 multiply 9, 6 multiply 6. Each of these combinations represents a unique rectangular formation. For example, the arrangement 3 multiply 12 means there are 3 rows with 12 students in each row. Similarly, the arrangement 4 multiply 9 represents 4 rows with 9 students in each row. Since these 5 factor pairs represent all possible rectangular combinations of 36, we can conclude that there are 5 different rectangular formations that can be created using all 36 students. This conclusion is supported by logical reasoning and systematic analysis. Computational thinking also provides several important benefits in mathematics learning. One major benefit is that it helps students simplify complex problems. When students apply decomposition, they break a large problem into smaller parts that are easier to analyze. Another benefit is that pattern recognition allows students to identify relationship and connection between mathematical structure. This helps students solve problems more efficiently. Abstraction also play an important role. By focusing only on relevant information, students can avoid unnecessary distraction and concentrate on mathematical aspects of the problem. In addition, algorithmic thinking encourages systematic problem solving. Instead of guessing possible solutions, students follow a clear sequence of logical steps. Overall, computational thinking strengthens analytical reasoning and helps students become more effective problem solvers. Computational thinking also provides several important benefits in mathematics learning. One major benefit is that it helps students simplify complex problems. When students apply decomposition, they break a large problem into smaller parts that are easier to analyze. Another benefit is that pattern recognition allows students to identify relationships and connections within mathematical structure. This helps students solve problems more efficiently. Abstraction also play an important role. By focusing only on relevant information, students can avoid unnecessary distraction and concentrate on mathematical aspects of the problem. In addition, algorithmic thinking encourages systematic problem solving. Instead of guessing possible solutions, students follow a clear sequence of logical steps. Overall, computational thinking strengthens analytical reasoning and helps students become more effective problem solvers. From this heuristic approach, several important insights can be observed. First, this approach encourages exploration. Students are not limited to one specific method. Instead, they can explore multiple strategies and investigate different possibilities. This encourages flexible thinking in mathematics. Second, the heuristic approach helps develop critical thinking skills. Students must analyze each step carefully, evaluate possible solutions, and justify their reasoning. This process strengthens analytical reasoning and mathematical argumentation. Finally, the heuristic approach helps students develop deeper conceptual understanding. Rather than memorizing formulas, students learn to understand mathematical relationships. In this example, students learn how factor pairs determine rectangular arrangement. This deeper understanding helps students apply mathematical concepts in other situations. To conclude this presentation, the heuristic approach combined with computational thinking provides a powerful strategy for solving non-routine mathematical problems. Through decomposition, pattern recognition, abstraction, and algorithmic thinking, complex problems can be analyzed step by step. This structured process allows students to approach challenging problems more confidently. More importantly, it encourages exploration, strengthening critical thinking, and develop deeper mathematical understanding. By integrating computational thinking into mathematics education, students are able to become more independent and effective problem solvers. Thank you.